What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we've got some breaking news coming out. Buckle up your seatbelts. This is your Build Back Better and stimulus update. And take a look, you guys. Top stories. Build Back Better, Joe Manchin. 1 hour ago, 1 hour ago, 1 hour ago, 1 hour ago. And you guys, 1 hour ago, we saw articles coming out like this. Take a look. Manchin says Build Back Better, dead, as talks stall on Biden's agenda. That's right, you guys. Joe Manchin coming out and doubling down. I'm going to give you all the details, and also we've already got responses from the White House on this breaking news, and they have immediately come out and responded to these comments. But take a look, you guys. Another one, Senator Joe Manchin calls Biden's Build Back Better bill a dead issue, and one we're going to be looking at in more detail today from ABC. Manchin, key Democrat, says Build Back Better bill is dead. Senator Joe Manchin says that President Joe Biden's vast social and environmental bill is dead. So you guys, I'm going to dive right in, get you caught up on all the details. As we're hearing, they are negotiating all of this, the child tax credit, what's going to be included, breaking this down into chunks, and I'm going to give you all the information. Now, also, we've heard a potential arrival time, and if you missed that video, be sure to check it out right after this one, as Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi has outlined for us when we can expect to see Build Back Better come to fruition. And also, you guys, if you missed the other video I did just the other day, we've also heard that there is remaining $800 billion of leftover stimulus funds from previous packages that have been unspent. And just to give you an idea of how much that is, that could equate to 2 additional $1,400 stimulus checks, a fourth and a fifth. And as more information rolls out, I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. But you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in, get you caught up on the latest. And also wanted to say thank you for all the support on the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And if you're somebody that's interested in learning about growing wealth and personal finance, I will pin a comment down below with a link. All you got to do is click it, go subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm relaunching more content on there that I hope is going to be helping people change their financial situation with everything that's going on. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest with this breaking news coming out on Joe Manchin and the Build Back Better bill. And let's start off by smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Just takes a second, really helps out my channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, you guys, so first up, link in the description below to this article that just came out a little while ago that says Senator Joe Manchin declared Tuesday that President Joe Biden's vast and social environmental bill is dead, using his strongest language to date to underscore that any revival of the Democrats' top domestic priorities would have to arise from fresh negotiations. And we heard him say that he's open to taking chunks, they had called it, and reassembling this and maybe renaming everything, starting over, but he said the original Build Back Better, in his eyes, it is dead. Now it says the remarks by the West Virginia Democrat didn't substantially alter the stance that he has taken since December, when he had said that he couldn't support the legislation as written, essentially dooming it. But his latest comments illustrated the election year challenges facing his party as it struggles to resuscitate parts of the package and win over voters weary of the 2-year-old pandemic and coping with the worst inflation in decades. And you guys, we are at the midterm elections this year, and they're saying that if Democrats don't get something done, well, it is very likely that power will flip back to the Republican Party, as right now Democrats, they control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and they're saying that if they don't get something done, they won't control it very long. Now, reading on. What Build Back Better bill? Manchin said Tuesday, using the legislation's name when reporters asked about it. There is no, I don't know what you're all talking about. Asked if he had had any talks about it, and he answered, no, 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 it's dead. Manchin has repeatedly said that he remains open to talks aimed at crafting a smaller bill that could include its provisions aimed at reducing carbon emissions, creating free kindergarten programs, and increasing federal healthcare subsidies, but he has said that negotiations have yet to begin. So he's saying that talks haven't even started yet for revising the Build Back Better bill. Now, that lack of activity, along with Biden's dismissal approval rating in polls, has prompted Democratic worries that the efforts could fade away, and they're concerned, as I mentioned, with those midterm elections. Now, I'm open to talk to everybody Always have been, he said Monday. I just want to make sure that we find a balance and something that we can afford and do it right. And while he expressed support for the original bill's provisions bolstering renewable energy, he said that he also wants to use all of the fossil industry in the cleanest absolute possible versions that you can. Manchin's state is a significant coal producer, and he has had clout on the issue as chairman of the Senate Energy and Natural Resource Committee. Now, in December, Manchin's abrupt announcement of his opposition to the 10-year, roughly $2 trillion measure, which has already passed the House, snuffed out its prospects in the Senate. His party needs his vote to prevail in that chamber, where every Republican opposes the legislation, but Vice President Kamala Harris can vote as the tie-breaking vote. And as you know, it's because of the 50-50 Senate right now, and they would have to pass it through reconciliation where Kamala Harris could be the tie-breaking vote. And Manchin, perhaps his party's most conservative senator, has said that the bill could further fuel inflation, is too expensive, and finances too many programs. Other Democrats say that the measure would help families handling the rising costs by bolstering the federal aid that they get for health care and education costs, and its expanded child care assistance would help many people return to work. They also note that the bill would be largely paid for by itself by raising taxes on big corporations and high-income people. So you guys, that is where things stand. But today he came out and he shook Congress with those statements. Now, we already have had reporters ask the White House about this, and they've already responded. Let's go ahead and take a look.
To kick us off.
It's been a busy news day, so I have a few. Off the top, Senator Manchin just said that Build Back Better is dead. Was the White House aware that he felt this way, and what's the path forward for some of those Democratic priorities?
Well, as you know, as a policy, we're not going to get into private conversations we have with Senator Manchin or any other senators about this piece of legislation or our efforts moving forward. What I will note, and where there is strong support moving forward across the Democratic caucus, is on taking steps to lower costs for childcare, for health care, for elder care, on making sure that Medicare can negotiate the cost of prescription drugs, and ensuring the tax system is fair. Whatever you call that, there is strong support for that, strong passion for that, a lot of advocacy for that, and there are a lot of members having continued conversations about it. I'll get back to you. Go ahead.
Hey, Jen, how's it going?
Good.
The Center for American Progress put out a memo today focusing on specific priorities for a more narrow Build Back Better bill. But not listed is the extended child tax credit. Could the White House, like apparently CAP, support a revised bill that didn't include the extended child tax credit?
Well, I'm not going to make a prediction or negotiate from here. Obviously, the president proposed an extension of the child tax credit, as you know, because it helped cut the child poverty by 40% last year. It's something he would absolutely like to be extended. There is a question here as to what 50 members of the Democratic caucus will support. And they support, as we were talking about a little bit earlier, some big fundamental goals, which is important. Lowering costs of child care, health care, negotiating prescription drugs. That's important. But I can't predict for you here what all 50 of them will support. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. To clarify something you said earlier about the BBB talks,
Yeah.
To the extent that you're going to tell us about them, you said that, rest assured the president, you said we've been in touch with every member of the Democratic caucus. We've been in touch.
We and the White House.
So that's the Leg Affairs team mainly? And
What the Leg Affairs team and senior members of the White House. We're just not going to detail more specifics.
you can't say if the president has been involved personally in any of the conversations with
The president has talked to a range of senators. He always does. Go ahead. I think we're going to move on unless you have another question. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Unrelated to that.
Okay.
Following up on the question on the expanded child tax credit.
Yep.
You have said time and again that this has taken lots of kids and families out of poverty.
Yeah.
A tremendous success there.
Yeah.
But with that now gone, looks like it's gone dead. Inflation creeping up, high gas prices, high food prices. How quickly are those same kids and families going to go back into poverty? Do you fear?
Well, how it's implemented, first, the president's going to continue to fight for the child tax credit. It's something he very much believes in. I just can't predict what a package will look like and what there will be support from 50 senators on. What I can tell you is that as individuals who are eligible file their taxes, they will get the other half of the child tax credit benefit from last year. That is not a forever solution, but that is something that many can look ahead to. The other part of the President's Build Back Better agenda that's important as you're talking about rising costs for people, we have a proposal. The president has a proposal. Many Democrats across the board support it, which is that will lower costs for Americans across the country, and all the issues you talked about, things that really weigh on people's family budgets, whether it's health care, which is has a huge impact on people's budgets, childcare, which is contributing to preventing 2 million women from rejoining the workforce. That's the Build Back Better plan, and that's something that we know will help lower costs for families.
President, have a message for those struggling families, very worried right now, not getting that extra $500 or $1,000 a month or whatever, that are saying, I can't afford the groceries, I can't afford the gas, this is getting very stressful. A message from the president to those families.
The president would say, I am here to fight for you, and that's why I'm going to continue to fight to pass legislation that will lower your costs, and that is a top priority for him. Go ahead.
So there you have it, you guys. That was White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki responding to reporters' questions about the statements made today by Senator Joe Manchin about the Build Back Better bill being dead. Now, we're going to be seeing what unfolds there. I'll let you know, because it sounds like talks are going to be progressing with a smaller, cut-down version of the bill. We're going to see what makes it in. I'll keep you up to date on that. And we also, as I mentioned before, have an update on what progressives and Nancy Pelosi said they'd like to see in regards to the time frame or the arrival of this stimulus bill. And also, we've heard calls for additional stimulus provisions, new faces for other things as well. And also, the last video I just did gave you guys a quick update about the EITC, or adult tax credit, a lot of people like to call it, that's going to be going out. Make sure you don't miss that if you're going to be filing your taxes here very soon, because they have expanded eligibility so that way millions of Americans can collect some additional funds during their taxes. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you'd like to stay up to date on anything that's going on, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Consider joining the second channel as well, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, I hope this reaches you well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.